Hey everyone! I'm back. I decided to make another Tetris talk. Don't really know exactly what I'm gonna talk about, but I have like a few ideas. I think the title of this one's gonna be like random life ramblings or something. So yeah. So I have my beer again, and last time I noticed I was like dying a lot. So I thought maybe it was like the lag because like the Tetris was like because the recording was like too big. So actually I recorded like the whole screen and then like cropped it. So I was thinking maybe if I like recorded a smaller screen then it wouldn't lag as much. But also I was thinking like maybe instead of like playing other people because that's like really stressful, I could just like play Marathon, which is like more chill. So yeah, let's give it a go. Play some music. Okay, so I guess I'll first warm up a little bit. Okay, so what do I want to talk about today? So I remember I made a video like not too long ago, but like kind of long ago about like a quick update. Basically what happened was like I was like working for a few months and I was starting to notice like a routine starting to form. And then like ever since I could remember, there was sort of like structure in my life, right? Like, or there was always something to look forward to, and there was always an end to something. Like, in elementary school, I knew, after grade 5 comes grade 6. After elementary school comes middle school. After high school comes college, right? And then even during college, it's like, after this quarter, there's like the next classes I have to take after that quarter. You get the idea. And then it's also like, after this internship, like this internship is only gonna last like 6 or 12 months. 12 weeks. So everything had like an expiration date and I always had something to look forward to. Like after internships, it's like, going back to school. And after school, it's like, like looking forward to the summer or looking forward to go back to school to see friends. Yeah. But then after college and after like working, it's really likely that like if you don't do anything, they'll just be doing the same thing in like a year or 2 or 5. So it's just like that pressure of like thinking if I had enough, if I was like happy, or if if there was still something I wanted to do that I haven't done yet. So then just like all these questions started popping up in my head and it started feeling like really claustrophobic. Yeah. So that was sort of like one of my many quarter life crises. Like I usually have one like once a quarter pretty much, where I just get overwhelmed and I take a step back and I ask myself like if I'm doing the right thing. But yeah, I think it was like a really good experience for me because after that I sort of became a lot more chill. I don't remember if I talked about this in the video, but I guess my videos are always like, set a goal, plan, do this, do that. And I think that's like really valuable when you have a goal and you want to go somewhere in life. But then there's also this like trap of like constantly working hard for the sake of working hard. So I think I was falling into that trap where I was just I wanted to do a lot of things, but then did you see that? That was sick. Yeah. Like I wanted to do a lot of things. Like I wanted to do singing, badminton. Actually. So I wanted to do singing, YouTube, side project, work, it's kind of bad, but I don't really remember my goals. But yeah, just like I had a lot of like plans and goals, right? And then right when I started playing badminton, before I was like barely managing to squeeze everything into my schedule, but after badminton, I just couldn't fit all my schedule in. Like I just didn't have enough time. And then it was after that that I really started questioning everything in my life, like basically auditing my hours and being like, okay, I'm spending this much time doing this, like do I want to sing, like do I want to sing in the morning and at night? Like what do I want to do with singing? Do I want to be like pro, or am I just doing it for fun? And if I'm only doing it for fun, like do I have to sing this much? And when I'm singing, do I really enjoy it, or do I feel like it's a chore? And I started realizing like most of the things I was doing was just like it felt like I had to do it, and it stopped being fun. And then I also thought like yeah. So then I basically took a step back and I was like, you know what, I don't have to, how should I say, before I always felt like there had to be something missing and something I had to be like working on and fixing to become a better person. And it was always this idea of like, oh, once I do this, I'll be happy. Like, once I do this, I could like enjoy myself. Like, once I have this internship, I made it, you know. But then like every time I get what I want, it's always like, okay, what's next? Like, I'm never really content, and I'm never really content. So then it was just this realization of like sort of letting myself enjoy the life that I earned, and also just like I know I'm like jumping all over the place, but like when it comes to like singing or like badminton, I don't need to be at like that higher level in order to enjoy that activity. So like even though I'm not the best singer, as long as I enjoy singing, I already made it. Like, why do I have to be like a good singer in order to enjoy singing? Like, I'm already happy with where I am at badminton. I don't need to train in order to get better in order to enjoy it. Like, I'm already at the skill level where I can enjoy it. Yeah. And I think maybe one of these days I'll post a video of me playing badminton. Yeah. Like my viewers definitely haven't watched me play badminton before, and I actually think of all the activities I've ever done, I'm the best at badminton. Because I like train for it. fix this really fast. Yeah, and then as I was thinking about life and all of that, it brought me back to this like sort of essay that I watched videos on but never actually read. It's called The Myth of Sisyphus, and I think it's a really good, it's like a really well written essay, and the points made in it like make a lot of sense. And to be honest, like I started reading it, but then like it's only 24 pages long, and then it's just like really dense. So then one day I read like 6 pages and I was like pretty happy, but then I never like continued it because I felt like I think like the 6 pages that I did read already made me pretty happy. Like it gave me the answers that I needed. But obviously I feel like I should revisit it soon and actually finish the essay. But anyway, I think the big point that I got from it, oh shit, my nose is itchy. The big point that I got from it is that like life is inherently meaningless. I mean, depending on if you're religious or not. I don't want to get into that. Personally, I'm not religious, but yeah. So saying life is inherently meaningless, and if life is meaningless, is life worth living? And basically the answer is yes. And then I'm not sure if this is like directly from the essay or if it's just like the own conclusion that I drew after hearing about the essay or reading the essay, but like life has no meaning, so because life has no meaning, you're free to like make your own meaning. Like there's no one meaning for everyone. Yeah, and it's also like life has no meaning, so let me back up. Life has no meaning, and life is inherently absurd. And by absurd, he means like random shit just happens. Like random shit happens to good people, random shit happens to bad people. And then like you don't really question it day to day, but then sometimes something will happen and then you ask like, why me? Like, why did that happen to me? Like my Switch got stolen. Why did that happen to me? Right? But then you just have to realize that like shit happens, and yeah. So after realizing that, you can be like, oh, what's the meaning behind this? Or you could just accept it. Where am I going with this? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go on my own tangent now because I don't know where I was going. But basically what I concluded was like, because life has no meaning, I can create my own meaning, and since there isn't really nothing to look forward to or nothing I have to work towards, I can be free to create my own story. And I'm living life creating my own story and just being interested and seeing what's next in the story. Yeah, I was like, I write in a journal, and something that I wrote that sounded really good, so I still kind of remember it, went something like this. It was like, life inherently has no meaning, so something something something, I'm here to like find out my story, and oh, it's like really hard right now. And maybe it like goes back to growth, as long as I'm just like doing the things I enjoy, and do things that I strive to do, things that I couldn't before. That's like good enough. I'm gonna pull it up after I finish this, so that it at least makes some kind of sense. Okay, maybe I should just finish this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, 8 more lines, 8 more lines. One more line. Okay. Let me just pull this up really quick. Okay. So I was writing about my purpose, and I was like, maybe it goes back to growth, to get what I can't and do what I couldn't before. I enjoyed training and trying to play badminton and sing better than I could before. Yeah, and then like I like YouTube because it's like learning how to speak better. I don't care about the end result. I just want to take the journey and see the story. I'm here to enjoy what the world has to offer, both materialistically and experiences. Nothing I do matters, so I might as well do stuff and enjoy doing them. I want my life to be a good story with a good journey and be able to share it later on. So yeah, basically, I guess what happened at Lyft was like, Lyft was this dream company that I always wanted. And then I finally, I got it and everything was great. But then I started to feel like I didn't have that next step, that next goal. And suddenly it's like, oh, like a sudden loss of purpose. So yeah, but then after this experience, it sort of shifted my mindset of like, it's not really the end goal, it's like the journey. And that's like super cliche to say, but then it's like so true, because like what makes a story good? A story isn't good if it's just like, a story isn't good if it's just like happy all the time. Like a story needs like its ups and downs, right? And the downs is what makes the story good, because you see how like the hero like faces and conquers adversity. And that's like the same with life too, right? Yeah. And then just like after having a story, looking back, it's like a lot more exciting to see what you've done and see like all the experiences you've had. Otherwise it's just like, oh yeah, I woke up, I had like good food, good life. Don't know where I was going with that, but yeah. So that was like a really rough telling of sort of my post-graduation crisis. But then it was also like a really good shift for me from just like sprinting into the more like marathon lifestyle. Like, I feel like my lifestyle now is like a lot more sustainable, and my expectations of what I want to do day to day are also more realistic. Even though before I was like, okay, I need to make a schedule where I won't get burnt out, I still got burnt out. So yeah. I'm thinking maybe I could elaborate more on like how my mindset changed, or like how I live differently. Anyway, okay. Maybe I'll just talk and it'll somehow like work out. Oh shit. So after like, I think the turning point of this crisis or whatever was like, I just told myself, okay, I'm like worrying a little bit too much, and how about today I just don't care about anything. Like, my only goal today is to be happy. And that sounds so corny, but that day I was just like, today if I was just happy, then it was a successful day. So then that day I wrote in my journal, today I'm going to be happy. And then as I like when I was walking to work, I was just like not really thinking anything and just like enjoying the scenery, enjoying the cars walking by, enjoying like the detail of the buildings that I was walking past. And I was like, damn, this is like a beautiful city. Life is beautiful, right? Yeah, that stuff. And then like when I was playing badminton, I was just like, I already made it, you know? I'm having a lot of fun. I'm playing with like good friends. I don't need to be better. I can just enjoy like all I have, like all that I have already. Yeah. And then like for the rest of the month, every day I sort of wrote like, okay, today I will blah blah blah. But then every day it became like, today I will be happy. Today I will be more focused at work. And then I just stopped doing it. Okay. I think I ran out of things to say for that one. Oh no. Oh, fuck. Okay, I guess the next thing I'll talk about is like full-time versus, I'm not sure if I talked about this before, but like full-time versus internships. Like, it seems so close yet so far, as in, I feel like it's just been like a few months since I last interned, but it's like been more than a year since I last interned. Um, and yeah. So I guess the first difference between a full-time and intern is like, as a full-time, you have a lot more responsibility. And as an intern, it's sort of like something you don't want to believe. And everyone says like, oh, interns at our company make like a lot of impact. So like that's what I believe too. But then like thinking about it and just looking back at like my projects have never been like projects that the company depends on, like they aren't like key features. They're just like features that are nice to have. Whereas like when you're full-time, you're given a project and that like project is yours. And then I guess you feel more attached to the project because as an intern, you're interning to like get a full-time job, right? But then like as a full-time, you're working to not get fired. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, and then like just like as a full-time, because you're staying for longer, the company is willing to invest more in you. So yeah, I think what I mean by that is like, because you're staying longer, see, so now I'm like, maybe not, because like companies invest in interns too. Like at Google, I felt like I had a lot of resources to grow. So yeah, I guess I'll take that back. Fuck. But yeah, I guess one thing is like, I really started noticing like that I was growing up, and I'm sort of like at that next stage when my team had like our own interns, like our interns for the summer. And then I was like, dang, like that used to be me like not too long ago. And I was like, damn, I'm not an intern anymore. Like I remember that life, but it seems so far away now. Yeah. And yeah, and then my friends and I were just talking about this, saying how like, oh yo, like when we were interns, you just think like everyone looks the same, but then like when you're full-time and you see an intern, it's really obvious that they're an intern, because they still have this like ray of like hope in their eyes, like this glimmer of hope that hasn't been like, sucked out by the world, by real life. They still feel like they could change the world, blah, 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 So that's like kind of like a pessimistic way of looking at it. But then it's also kind of true. And it's like really hard to describe. But it's just like, as an intern, there's still like so many possibilities and stuff like that. But as a full-time, you start falling into this like routine, the routine I was just talking about. And yeah, it's just like work is work, whereas like as an intern, work is sort of still fun. Yeah. But that's not to say that I don't have fun at work, because I feel like I have a lot of fun. I love my team, and I don't just say that like randomly. Like I really do like my team, and then I feel like I'm learning a lot, but still it feels like work. Like I wish I could be just, playing badminton and singing all day. But then also, I think I get bored of that too. Part of me feels like I'll never be content, The grass is always greener on the other side. Okay. I guess maybe the next thing I'll talk about is the Switch that just got stolen. What do I want to say about that? I guess it's just that, like, I don't know what tone I, gave off in that video. But, I showed some of my friends a video and they're like, oh, one of my friends was like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, or my ex, posted a video about how he was happy that he lost his bike because the person that stole the bike is probably, happier than he is sad or something. And then I was thinking, okay, I know I said that the person who stole my Switch probably needs it more than me, but I'm still not happy that he stole my Switch, or she, but I'm pretty sure it was that guy. I'm not happy about it at all, and I don't feel happy for that person. But then I feel like instead of just being sad about it, I can turn it into something positive. And actually, I think it actually isn't. I mean, I think it's actually kind of working because I feel more motivated, and now I have something concrete that's motivating me. It's not just oh, because I want to, but it's oh, I lost my Switch, so I'm doing this so that I don't feel bad about myself losing, having my Switch stolen. And I've already practiced singing 2 mornings in a row. I'm making my 3rd YouTube video in 2 weeks. So yeah, maybe my Switch being stolen wasn't okay. It's still a bad thing, but it caused something it was a happy accident. It initiated something that would not have happened organically. So because this motivation is sort of artificial, and it actually kind of doesn't make sense that me losing my Switch and me working hard will make me feel better about my Switch. But I'm sort of just loosely connecting the two. So yeah. So that's my Switch. I still feel really bad. The next morning, I was getting ready for work, and I was just looking for my backpack. And then I remembered I didn't have a backpack. That was a moment when I was sigh. Okay, fuck, I didn't drink any beer. Now it's on my shirt. No. Oh, okay, I want to switch. Playing by myself is kind of boring. Okay, since this is random life ramblings, I can talk about anything. Or I can talk about nothing and just play Tetris. I could tell a quick story about a few interesting bets that I made with my friends. So, one day after a carnival that my friends and I went to, we were eating like noodles and just like chilling and talking, and then my friend got like really lucky and was playing like this basketball game, and she like made it in, and it was like really hard. So she won like a really big prize, and then she was like super confident. And then she was like really confident in her Tetris skills. So I know I'm not the best at Tetris. Because, like, as you keep climbing up the ladder, you start to, like, play against people that are, like, super, super good. Like, they T-spin and they just, like, drop lines, like, like, just one after the other. But then I feel like generally I'm better than most people, and I think I'm like that with like most of the things that I do, like singing, badminton, Tetris, maybe Smash. But yeah, so then I was like, oh yeah, let's bet. So then we bet on a game of Tetris, and then another one of my friends wanted to join in. So basically, the loser, like third place, has to buy first and second place boba, and the second place has to buy first place boba. So basically, first place gets 2 bobas, and third place buys 2 bobas. So that was that. And I was like really excited because I was pretty sure I was gonna win. And then fast forward like a few days later, another friend who didn't go to the carnival heard about the bet, and he was like, oh, he wanted to play too. So then I was like, okay. So we decided to play at Yosemite, because we had like a trip to Yosemite. And we were all just like, we wanted to like hide our skill and didn't want to like show each other how good we were. So then when we were like practicing and stuff, we would like play super slow to give like the other person, to try to trick the other person. Yeah, and then there were like side bets going on, and yeah, it was like pretty nerve-wracking, and we bet $70 because of like a stupid pun, like Yosemite, you know, so stupid. But yeah, so on the second day we played, and then it was like really intense. We were both like actually stacking like really fast, and I won the first one, and my hands were like shaking, and I was just like, holy shit, like he's actually like not bad, he's like actually really good. And then he won the second one, and then he was just saying, oh yeah, like I'm okay KOing 2 times in a row if that means I could like KO 3 times in a row, because he has a strategy where he leaves like 4 or like 3 spaces to the right, and then just like combos. Yeah. So kept playing, everyone was like cheering, and then in the end I won, because like I was just like more consistent overall. and yeah, it was just like really fun. And then we met like another friend wanted to like play Tetris, but like on the Switch, and yeah, so basically the bet was like almost the same. The thing is, like, I've never played Tetris on the Switch before. Like, at that point, I didn't even see the game. I didn't even. I assumed that there was Tetris on the Switch, but I didn't even know. So she was like really comfortable with the controls, so and she was like really confident. So she wanted to bet, and then I was like, okay, sure. Like, how much? And she was like $100, and I was like, holy shit! Like, I wasn't that sure, but then at the same time, I was like, it's Tetris, and I'm pretty good at it. So as long as I get used to the controls, I could probably like do pretty well. And then basically the bet was like I would have 10 minutes of practice, and then we would play like a couple matches, and the winner the winner gets the money, right? And then I was like, okay, how about this? Like, because I've never played the game before, let's make it like 2-1. So if I win, she pays me like 100, but then if I lose, I only pay her 50. So she accepted to that. So then like I was the one that was driving the group to Yosemite, and the whole time they were like playing Tetris on the car. And then my friend who did the $70 bet with me was like playing with her, and he actually made a side bet saying that she would beat me. And then the whole time, like, he was just losing, and I was just like, wait, what's actually happening? Because my friend's actually like really good. And then like after 30 minutes, he finally like won one game. And then I was just like, oh shoot, wait, is she actually like really good? And he was just telling me like, oh yeah, the controls are actually like really hard to get used to, and they're like really counterintuitive, because up is supposed to be rotate, but then it's fast drop in Tetris Switch, or Switch Tetris. So yeah, that night, like for the 10 minutes, I had like another friend try to like train me. So yeah, he trained me, and I was just like messing up and hard dropping when I was trying to rotate, and I was just like super nervous. And then my friend was just like super cocky, like, oh Jeffrey, do you want some like Pocky? Oh, are you hungry? Oh, do you want to drink some? And then I was just like, no, shut up. But then yeah, like the game started, and the thing with Switch Tetris is that you only need 1 KO to win, unlike Tetris Friends, which is like 3. So you can't stack too high, and it's better to be safe than aggressive. So the first game was like super long, but because it was long, I really got used to like the controls. So I barely won the first game, and then I lost the second game, and then it was just like a landslide win from there. And then my friend got really sad, so it made me like feel really bad, and yeah, that was that. Okay, let me try to beat this person. Oh, probably not gonna happen after that though. Oh shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try to beat the next person. Oh no. Oh no. I thought this one was gonna be an easy one, but started messing up. Okay, that was not too bad. Okay. The next topic that comes to mind is, why do I like singing? And I think it's also related to like why I like badminton. And the answer to that is like it comes down to expression. So I feel like I'm a really mellow guy. Like when I talk, there's not much inflection in my voice, and I don't usually get like super excited. But then the thing is like, badminton and singing allow me to express myself. And I guess I only really fell in love with badminton and singing after watching like certain videos. So basically, for singing, there was one performance by this Chinese artist called Cao Ge, Gary Cha. It was like Wugu so the song was Wugu, and then the concert was Welcome to My World. Maybe I'll post a link. But yeah, he was just like being like really, his singing has like a lot of emotion, and even though it was like a shitty recording, it like sort of touched me. Like how powerful and how sad he sang the song. And it sort of made me want to sing like that too. So after listening to that recording, I really got into singing. Yeah. When it comes to badminton, I was watching my favorite player, Lindan, play badminton, and his play style is like really like aggressive, but he also looks like he's like flying across the court. He has like really good control, and then when he wins, he just like screams in excitement and like runs around the court, takes like rips off his shirt, throws it on the floor, and it makes me feel like excited for him. And that sort of inspired me to also like want to get good and then like play like him. And then when I win, like, you know, like do like a little war cry. But yeah, so that's that for whoever's wondering. Okay. Well, nothing else is coming to mind right now. So I'm just gonna keep playing until I lose. And the thing is, like, the more times I win, the harder the opponents. So it's more likely that I'll lose. So it might even be this one actually, because I'm off to a really bad start. But yeah, if I think about something to talk about, I'll talk about it too. Oh yeah, I lost this one. Oh man. Oh well. So yeah, that's random ramblings on life. That is. What did we talk about? My Tetris story. That is. Why I like badminton and singing. Yeah. These Tetris talks are more for like brainstorming, I guess. And then when I have a good idea and I talk it out, then I'll make an actual video for it. So if you're interested in anything that I like talking about in these Tetris talks, just leave a comment like, oh, can you elaborate on Metasysiphus or expression or like why you like badminton, then do that and I'll try to make a video for it. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Potentially might make a Tetris talk every week because I like playing Tetris and I like talking. And I have to work on my talking and my storytelling skills. But yeah, no promises because I never keep them anyway. Anyway, have a good night or have a good day if you're watching this during the day. Bye.